all now, so.
Narelle summers, be kind to your mind. On Smile Radio.
Hello, I'm Narelle Summers, emotional wellbeing coach and speaker. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Today, I'm joined by my special guest, Joseph O'Brien. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Not bad.
Not bad. Two negatives.
Better than the weather.
Better than the weather.
Yeah.
Yes, here in the UK, it is a little bit miserable and a little bit cold. But you know what? We're all happy.
But it's not raining.
It's not raining.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not raining.
So Joseph is a professional singer and he's going to be singing live today. I'm super excited about that, Joseph, because you're my first guest to sing live.
Yeah, you said that earlier. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very good.
absolutely. Joseph is also a personal trainer. So today, because we're halfway through the year, I thought it would be good to revisit goals. How we set goals, how we stick to them, and how we achieve them. Both within our personal lives, but also how we help our clients. Because, you know, a lot of people think that goal setting is a January exercise. But today, me and Joseph are going to talk to you about goal setting and why it's important to set goals throughout the year. But first, we're going to kick off with a song, Joseph.
Cool. Okay.
I am genuinely so excited.
This is a first.
This is a first.
Right, I've been warming the voice up, by the way.
Yes.
I've had just half a bottle of brandy this morning. I'm kidding, I'm joking. I've had coffee. Just joking.
So what's your first song that you're going to sing
We
us?
are going to do a Sinatra song. A bit of a classic from Old Blue Eyes. Fly Me to the Moon.
Wow.
So here we go. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter or Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship, dig and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and I adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, you know I You know I love you.
Wow. Oh.
Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. That's next one.
It's okay.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
That has given me goosebumps.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I love
you.
It.
Thank you very much.
Well, at least they know we're live.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are live,
absolutely.
yeah.
We are definitely
Thank you very
live.
much.
Right. Okay. I'm a bit now, but we need to talk.
Somebody's sung on the show now.
I
That's
know.
it.
Woo!
The precedent's been set.
And it's not me.
Yeah.
I feel I need to focus now because we were talking about goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk to you about is how, because as a personal trainer, how do you help your clients set their goals?
Well, initially, before I start any program with anybody, so like say I get a new client that comes along, I won't just say, right, we're going to get straight to it, jump on the treadmill, let's get going.
Yeah.
I'll sit with them, discuss where they are in terms physically, what they're mentally as well to a point in terms of what's their feelings towards exercise and well-being and all that kind of thing. And then I'll say, what do you want to achieve? And generically, people do say, I want to, it might be lose weight or tone up or, and like, for example, I had a client who wanted to run a 10K and he did.
Yeah.
He ran a 10K.
Yeah.
So once I knew what he wanted to do, I can then tailor his program to what he's going to wanting to achieve. And that was kind of fun in a way, because when he did the 10K, he actually did it. And he was buzzing to get it done, you know. And it got to a point where, and he didn't mean this in a bad way, but we had like a 6-week training block where it was on the treadmill and we were doing hill runs and we were doing all sorts of stuff to get his fitness up and to get him ready for the run. And it got to a point where he said, I just want to get it done now. And that's not in a negative, but in as in like bring it on. So you kind of, you have to sit with them, have a bit of a chat with them, and then you can kind of read people as well, body language and how they are as a person. Quite quickly, you know, and so that's how I do it anyway.
Yeah, because I guess you will be very busy in January.
You mean the new year, new me, and get fit and
Because and you know. Goals are throughout the year.
Yeah, I'd agree, yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, that's, I can't remember the percentage, I don't know, like 80% of people who set goals in January don't achieve it.
Yeah, because I think you know, that week between Christmas and New Year, which is always, I always say is a week where you don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
Who you are anymore, because you don't know where you are, because every day is a Sunday kind of thing. And then at that point, people always say to me, what's your New Year's resolution? And I'll be honest, I've never set one. I've never done it. And I just think there's so much pressure on people when they do set one, as of the 1st of January. That's partly the reason I reckon a lot of people don't stick to it, because there's too mumuch pressure on them. You know, you can make changes at any time. In the year, it's
Absolutely.
not just set to January. You know, and it is a bit silly, really, isn't it? New Year's resolution at that point, it's a bit silly to say, right, as of now, 1st of January, this is what I'm going to do.
And especially because the majority of people, the day before, are drinking and eating to excess.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
And then you go from that to, you know, and I've spoke about diets and things before. So you go to literally starvation, cutting out alcohol, cutting out your chocolate. You literally go from one extreme to another literally overnight.
Rather than doing it gradually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, that then creates a negative.
Yes.
And it goes from being a positive change, if you wanted to make it, to a negative.
Yeah.
Which then has an adverse effect on you, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And diets don't work. We have a diet industry that is worth billions of pounds.
Well, it's funny you should say that. You're right, and I think they do push a lot of propaganda, if you like. But you know, if you're like going back to the PT thing, you know, you might have a lad who's a rugby player, and has to put muscle on. Muscle
Oh yeah,
size.
absolutely. So he needs protein,
his,
doesn't he?
Yeah, his diet has to be tailored to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, absolutely.
So depending on what you're wanting to do, it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's different for everybody. I've made one change actually. I must admit, now on about this, I've given up fizzy drinks.
Right. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
You know, cans of
Yeah,
Coke and
yeah.
Red Bull and all that kind of thing. Just to see what, and I feel all right on it. You know, I've done nearly 2 weeks now, and I've give it up. So that's my little change. So I've not give up coffee, as you can see. Coffee is life, but I've given up fizzy drinks. I've read a few little theories on it, and I just thought I'm going to give it a try. So I've tried to up the water intake.
Right. Okay.
But I'm not under pressure with that.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
little subtle changes. You
yeah.
know?
I gave caffeine up maybe about 11 years ago,
Right.
and I gave it up for a month,
Right.
and I've never gone back.
Really?
I gave
Right.
up alcohol 9 years ago for a month,
Right.
and never gone back.
Nice.
So I've always set myself.
And you've stuck. And have you felt comfortable sticking to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But if you'd have said to me, you know, 11 years ago, I was temping in offices, and I was bored.
Yeah.
Let's put it out there.
What is it
And
with the job?
with the job.
Yeah.
So I would go to the kitchen nearly every hour and make myself a coffee.
Yeah.
And then I just went on a course, and they said, you've got to give something up for 30 days. I started sweating.
Well, you know what? Coffee, right? I love a coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I do like a coffee. And because on a morning, it is a natural drug as such.
Yeah.
But I actually went to Turkey for a hair transplant a couple of months back.
Oh, right, okay.
And prior to the operation, you've got to. By the way, that's with Be Safe Health UK. Highly recommend Sean Barouche, if anybody's listening. But I went there, and prior to having the op, for 2 weeks before, you weren't allowed eggs because there's something in eggs that triggers your blood flow.
Oh, okay.
So when you go up for the operation,
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
want your blood flow to be high. And you've got to give up caffeine for 2 weeks before. Now, the first couple of days, honestly, it was horrendous. So I've gone to decaf.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you say, I had the headaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just really tetchy, and I thought... So that shows you the effect it has. But
Yeah.
I did go back to drinking coffee.
But it's the thing is,
But
it's
I
what.
enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like
That's
it.
what I'm saying. It's whatever whatever works
Yeah.
for you. You know, Richard knows so I drink naturally decaffeinated drinks. I don't drink
Yeah.
decaffeinated
Just
things.
likes a Red Bush.
I like my Red Bush.
Right. What's that?
It's not.
It's not a euphemism.
I was just like,
It's not.
you went there, not me.
He always goes there. It's naturally decaffeinated. So
All
so when you have decaffeinated coffee or
Is that a coffee then? Sorry, is that
no,
like
it's a tea.
A
It's a tea.
Right, yeah, okay.
You see, they use chemicals to strip the caffeine, but that is naturally
Right.
caffeinated.
Do you have it with milk?
decaffeinated.
Do you have it
yeah,
with milk?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you would
Almond milk,
prepare
obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
But you have it. You have something in to mix in
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. But what I'm saying, so my point is about caffeine or about alcohol is set yourself small goals.
Yeah.
So I set myself for caffeine and for alcohol, they were a month. And at the end of that month, I felt a huge difference. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to do it for another month. And then after that other month, I say, oh, well, I might as well do 3 months. I might as well do 6 months. I might as well do a year. And when that year came, I thought, well, I might as well do another year.
Did you feel any like in social situations? Did you feel any pressure in any way, or did you?
No.
That's good.
No.
You see, it's funny with alcohol because like I've been that busy since the turn of the year. I think the last time I went out and had a drink was just after Christmas.
Right. Okay.
And me and my friends, we all get together we have a bit of a lads' day out, and it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all my mates who I've grown up with. But I've not drank since then because I've been that busy. But what I have found is, and I probably will at some point have a couple of months again. Yeah, that's just my choice.
Yeah.
But your mind is so much clearer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you have so much, without sounding too corny, you have clarity on everything, and you're more on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've noticed that.
And my sleep really
sleep's
improved.
better, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I thought I slept really well anyway.
Yeah.
But I sleep deeper. Yeah.
You do. You feel a lot better about your thinking with things, you know.
But also, I think it's really important when you're setting goals that you do something that is for you.
Yeah,
That is right
you're
for
right.
you.
And I think whatever change you're making,
Yeah.
or whatever you're going for yourself, don't do it for somebody else.
No.
You know, let's use not that I've experienced this, but let's use an example. If somebody said, "I want to go to the gym because," you know, the partner said, "Oh, you're putting weight on" or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, that's never been said to me, but I'm using that as an example.
Yeah, absolutely.
That for me, you should be doing that for you, not
Yeah.
because somebody said you need to change. You need to change it for yourself, and because you want to change it for yourself.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that goes for anything. So,
Because the thing is, if you do it for somebody else, you might achieve that. If it's, for example, for weight, you might achieve that, but then it'll just come back on, because you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for you're wanting to please somebody else, and you need to please yourself.
well, I think it also, to a point, comes back to and looking after number one.
Yeah, yeah.
And that can sound selfish in some ways, but I'm a big believer in looking after number one.
The thing is, if you look after yourself and be the best you can, that will have a ripple effect to other people.
Yeah, and it benefits every other part of your life.
Absolutely.
And everything else around
Absolutely.
it. You know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you can get stuck in a rut as well of trying to please everybody, and
Yeah.
and eventually that'll grind you down because you can't. You know, you've got to be like I say, look after yourself first.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. You know, that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely,
all inside you. Happiness is inside you. You be that, and it's not selfish.
Yeah.
You know, because there's that thing, isn't there? We've all been on aeroplanes. I think a lot of people, if you're listening to us in the UK, would like to be on an aeroplane right now to get some sunshine. But when the air stewardess says, in case of an emergency, your oxygen mask is going to come down in front of you,
Yeah.
who do they say that oxygen mask needs to be put on first?
Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They say you've got to put your mask on first, then you've got to put it onto your children or your partner or your elderly relatives. And that's what it exactly like in real life. You have to look after number one first before you can look after anybody else.
Yeah.
It starts with you.
And another thing about setting goals.
Yeah.
I always think structure as well.
Yeah,
Structure's
absolutely.
a massive thing. So that can be a day-to-day thing.
Yeah.
So like, say, for example, I did the London Marathon back in 2022.
Right, wow.
Which was the hardest thing I've ever done, but the best experience of my life.
Yeah.
Unbelievable experience. And I was meant to do it in 2020, but obviously COVID hit. So I deferred my spot until 2020. And it was in October 22. So I had to do the training for it in the summer. And we actually had a summer back then.
Yeah.
So I was like running at like 9 p.m. of an evening.
Yeah.
Going for 15-mile runs and whatever. But I had to that was my goal, to run the London Marathon.
Yeah.
But I had to structure that in.
Yeah.
So I had to structure my day-to-day, week-to-week work balance, if you like, around training.
Yeah.
Structure.
Yeah.
You can't just, if you've got a goal, you've got to structure your
yeah.
life so you can build towards it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's important. as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Anyway, it's time.
I was singing again.
Oh,
Get
we're
in.
singing again.
Okay. Do you want me to describe the track that I'm going to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one's called Agadoo. No, I'm just kidding. It's sing along at home. No, it's Cry to Me, Solomon Burke. I'm going to sing.
Wow.
Okay.
So you're listening to Joseph O'Brien live on Smile Radio with Narelle Summers. Be kind to your mind.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, well, don't you feel like crying? Well, don't you feel like crying? Here I am, honey. Come on, well, cry to me. When you're all alone, baby, in your lonely room, and there's nothing but the sweet smell of her perfume. Well, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Yeah. Here I am, honey. Come on, oh, cry to me. I said nothing could be sadder than a glass of wine alone. Loneliness, it's such a waste of time. Well, you don't ever have to walk alone, baby, baby, you see. Come on, pretty baby, take a walk with me. When you're waiting for a voice to come in the night, and there is no one. Well, don't you feel like crying? Cry to me. Don't you feel like crying? Cry to me. Here I am, honey. Come on, oh, cry to me. Cry to me. Well, don't you feel like cry, 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 cry to me? Come on, baby. Don't you feel like crying? Cry to me. Cry to me.
Narelle Summers, be kind to your mind. On Smile Radio.
Wow.
Wow, well done.
Cheers.
Fantastic.
I think is that on Dirty Dancing, that song?
Yes.
It is,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Right, well, thank you.
You've got an amazing voice.
Cheers. Thank you.
Amazing
Cheers.
voice.
Yeah, and that's all live, no reverb or any
Yeah,
effects.
all live.
Yes.
My first guest. Live.
Nice one. Thank you.
I just want to go back to what you were saying before the song about like structure, because it's really, really important when you set your goals to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, you've got, you can't just sit there and go, oh, I want this and I want this, and then just sit down on your couch and it comes to you. You know, you need a how you're going to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right there. And it might be you want to get into a certain industry with work, or first of all, you've got to find the contacts. You've got to email people. I'm using that as an example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got to find contact. You've got to email. You've got to put yourself out there. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing comes to you. I learned that quite early on. When I was younger, when I first got into the gigging thing and the singing thing, I thought, not in an arrogant way, but I thought everything just come to you. And I always remember my stepdad saying, you got to put yourself out there, basically. And you've got to put yourself out there. And listen, you might get a knockback. I've had a few, but that's life.
Yeah,
you know?
the saying "build it and they will come" is not the case.
No,
Not
it's
at all.
not at all. And I think setbacks give you a bit of character. And I always I'll tell you another thing. I always remember when I first started, I did a thing called Star Trail in Outwood. They used to have this like talent competition, and they had I think they had 4 judges on the panel, and I got through to the final 5, and they had this finals night, and I was only 18, and my stepdad said to one of the judges, "What do you think to him?" And I remember at the time I've been really miffed at him saying this, but when I look back now, it was right. He went, "He's very, very good, but he'll be even better when he's had a setback." And what he meant was, it'll give him a bit of character.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll kick him on again. And I've had a couple of setbacks, and it does hurt, but it gives you that bit of drive, and it's a lesson as well. to kick on. And we all get setbacks in life, you know. And that's part of it. That's part of life. You've got to learn from it.
Yeah, and also sometimes if I get a no, I just think to myself, it's not meant to be. There's something stopping that coming to me for whatever reason.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's another aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, my mum always says that.
Yeah.
That sometimes it's just not written in the stars, so to speak.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But you've got to put yourself out there.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely. And also, I think it's really important as well when you are setting goals and you've got your plan. It needs to be clear, because you're instructing your subconscious mind how you're gonna achieve that goal.
Yeah.
You know, like you with your clients, you know that if somebody wants to run a 10K, they've got to do so many. Can't speak now. So many miles or whatever each time, and build on that. And they've got also what's really important as well when setting goals is you've got to have a deadline.
Yeah, you've got to have something to work towards.
Yeah.
You know, I think deadlines are good because they keep you on track.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know where your aim is. You know, keep you on track with it. So
because if you don't have a deadline, then you're just gonna float around. You might not even achieve it. You might achieve it, but maybe a year later.
Or you lose interest. In
yeah,
it.
you lose interest because you've got nothing. It's a target at the end of the day, isn't it? That you need to achieve.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing with all your clients, they all have targets, whether that is weight targets or
and to be fair, like I've got a couple of clients that have hit a point where they're really happy with what they've done.
Yeah.
And they want to maintain it
Yes.
as well. So that's another thing.
Absolutely.
You know, maintain where they are. And,
Yeah.
So then it's down to us, between us, to maintain that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
change the training program a bit as well. That's a big thing for me. I don't like to do the same thing each time, because then they lose interest in it. So that's where I've got to, you know, push them a bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, it's variety, isn't it? People will get bored. I mean, the thing is that you, as I said before, you've got to do what is right for you. And you know, I ran 10K. I don't know, maybe about 6-7 years ago. You know, this is a woman who is heavily overweight. Loved, I don't know how many chocolate bars back then. My diet wasn't great, and I set myself little targets. So I would run using lampposts.
all right, so I'm gonna
around
hit that one.
around my estate until I hit the 10K, and then got out on the road and did 10K for Wakefield Hospice. But small steps lead to big changes, don't
they
they?
do, yeah,
I
yeah.
think sometimes people think that if they're doing something small, then but
Yeah, and I think if you the small steps, you're right. If you aim for the biggest step straight away, you're not going to get it. So you've got to start gradual.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it won't happen tomorrow. You know, like I've got friends who have started training now, and they're like, you know, they're saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm like, look, start now.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not going to see change after 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got to think 3 months.
Yeah.
But you've got to stick at it. It's not going to happen in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's got to be 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's important to know. Patience as well. You've got to be patient, you know, with you. You know, it's not going to happen tomorrow. You've got to be patient with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it's like you training for the London Marathon. Say that you're doing it next year. You going out running now and trying 26 miles. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I run 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Because for me, mentally, it's brilliant for me as well as physically. But it's just part of my life. And I'm not going to lie, there's days when I go out and I don't want to do it. There's days when I have to drag myself out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't wait to finish it.
Yeah.
But that's running. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. That's
yeah.
It's awful at times.
Yeah.
But once you've done it, you feel great.
Yeah.
But I still get out running. But like you just said there, if somebody said, right, run a marathon tomorrow, I'd struggle because I'm not.
Yeah. You've got to train.
I'm only up to a certain level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd have to set aside 3 or 4 months of
a
training plan to get to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
To get to that level.
And also, you know, like your clients will use you as an accountability partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I have different views about accountability partners.
What do you mean by that? As in, like, in what way would you say that?
That you'll hold them accountable for doing their training.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if you get a PT that you can use as an accountability partner, or a positive and supportive friend or a colleague, but then sometimes it's good to just go out and do your goal and not tell anybody, and then show people the results afterwards.
And I think that comes down to, it's down to yourself.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to what we said previously about looking after number one,
Yeah.
that's down to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can, and there's another PT at our gym, and we both had a chat, and I mean, Matt Gillard, by the way, he's really good, by the way. He's done it for years, and he says I can only do that hour with them in the gym.
Yeah.
What they do outside of that, that they're responsible
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
away from when I'm PTing or
Yeah.
training them.
Yeah.
It's you know,
It's their
it's
responsibility.
their, like, so that might come down to diet choices.
Yeah.
Or doing a bit extra away from the gym. That's down to that person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Because
you're responsible for yourself, basically.
oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Because when I did the 10K, I didn't tell anybody.
Was that to take the pressure off a bit, or?
I didn't want to listen to negativity
Yeah.
going, Narelle, you're overweight. You can't even run to the top
Yeah.
of the street.
You know what? And you've just said something there, and I'm just going to veer off the PT.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I did a gig at Theatre Royal in Wakefield.
Yeah.
Back in March, and it was a Sinatra night with a like a 7-piece band.
Yeah.
And the theatre put out this advertisement for the show, and I did a trailer for my Sinatra stuff a year previously to this gig in March,
Yeah.
and they used it for the promo, and they used little other bits of me singing, and they put it on their Facebook page, and some guy come on and had a bit of a go at me. He doesn't sound like Sinatra and blah blah blah. There's always somebody there to try and, you know. But off the back of this gig, I've got this on this theatre tour playing
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
So it just shows you
But all
one person's opinion doesn't count.
No.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they're talking of it. There's Sandra Garrett who's listening on Facebook Live, and she said, "Good morning, great voice."
Thank you, very kind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you. Cheers, Sandra.
but
I'll send you that money after, Sandra.
but also you have to, when somebody says something negative about you, you have to look at them and where is it coming from, and a lot of it is jealousy.
There is that, yeah.
They're not living their life they want to live.
Yeah, and I think some people just have a negative outlook anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, when the comment come through, my co-partner Keely, who we worked on I'm working on the show with, and I
Yeah.
worked on that show with, it really narked her. She got really offended.
Yeah.
Well, look, you're not going to please everybody.
No.
You know. But I didn't know who this guy was.
No.
You know, for all, it might not be his cup of tea, that kind
Yeah,
of music.
yeah.
But my line on that is, it's like I'm not a massive lover of ABBA. That's just my personal
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
But I'd never go on a forum.
It's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd never go on
Yeah.
a forum and have a go at somebody for doing ABBA. I just wouldn't comment, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's
If you can't say anything nice, don't bother saying anything
exactly,
at
absolutely. And but like I say, off the back of this show that I did, I got an audition to play Frank Sinatra, and they've took me on a UK tour. So what did that guy know? Do you know what I mean? It's subjective, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think what I'm trying to say is focus on yourself and don't listen to the outside noise.
Oh,
if it's
yeah,
negative.
absolutely. And also, and I've said this many a time on this programme, I will cut negativity out of my life.
Yeah.
I will not stand for it. You
Yeah.
know, I only have people who are supportive and positive towards me. And if you're not, you're out.
To be fair, I think there is always going to be somebody who's got a comment to make. You know, some people are just like that. Some people you could say to them that wall's white and they'd say it's red.
Oh yeah,
That's just
yeah.
That's just how that's life. You know,
Yeah.
there's always going to be that one person.
But you have to. But as I said before, you have to look at where are they coming from.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, it's jealousy most of the time.
And again, it comes back to another thing of focus on yourself. Number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all you can do, and do it for the right reasons for you, not anybody else.
Oh no! If you're doing it with for somebody else, it won't work.
Yeah.
And also, it will jar on you. You will get frustrated.
Yeah.
With yourself because you're wanting to please somebody else and frustrated
Yeah,
with them.
and also it comes back to another thing of comparing yourself to others as well. A lot of people do this, and you know, I know a lot of other singers and PTs.
Yeah.
Some PTs I know that have gone to Dubai and they're training people there, and it looks fantastic. I know singers who've got contracts on cruise ships, and they'll put on their Instagram where they are, and I can honestly say I've never been jealous of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been envious, like there might be in a sunny place and it's November here and it's freezing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kind of use that as fair play, you know. I'm not going to use that as comparing me to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, they're doing what they're doing, I do what I do.
Yeah.
I think if you get into the thing of being frustrated that they're doing it and you're not, that's a negative.
Yeah.
You can only focus on what you do.
I've just got a message from Liam Kershaw. Hi Liam, how are you doing, buddy? He's just saying, not everyone pleases you, so don't worry about pleasing everyone. Most people want to be loved by everyone, but he says, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah,
I think
you need to love yourself first.
Valid point, is that Liam?
That's a great point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point.
But also when you're comparing yourself, and I think social media really doesn't help with this at all. You know, you are wasting time, you're wasting energy looking on somebody else's life. That time and that energy needs to be on your life. You know, what do you want to achieve in your life? And go out and do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you should say about social media. It's quite dangerous in a way because, you know, if you asked a lot of school kids now at 14, 15 what they want to be when they grow up, I bet a lot of them would say, I want to be an influencer.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But an influencer of what?
Yeah.
You know, it's not a career as such,
Yeah.
is it? The people that are doing it are obviously getting sponsored and they're getting money out of Instagram or companies or whatever. And good luck to them. But I just think it's not real, if that makes sense. It's not real. And these people who are posting on their Instagram, they're doing it for a reason. But they'll be human beings like anybody else. They'll have they'll have doubts.
Absolutely.
They might look there might be a supermodel in there that looks brilliant.
Yeah.
But he or she will have insecurities like everybody else.
Yeah, but they don't post that though,
they
do
don't
they?
post that, but they're not superhuman.
No.
They're human beings like anybody else, you know.
And I also, and I think I've said this before as well, clean up your social media. You know, if somebody is constantly posting negativity, they're out on my social media. I just won't, you know, I'll leave groups, I'll unfriend people.
Yeah.
I won't, I'm not interested. I just want positive people around me.
Yeah.
I do have to say, Narelle, out of all the people I know, friends, and you are the most positive person that I know. And I've said this before, personally, away from the show and on the show, that sometimes when you're feeling a bit down, Narelle is like a shot in the arm.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not just saying it because you sat
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You are very, very positive, and you see the good in everything and everyone. So yeah, you are.
Oh, thank you,
That's
Richard.
great. No, I get that vibe as well.
Yeah.
Big time, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We are. I personally, I have certain bits where I'm not down on things, but you know, that's natural.
Everybody is,
nobody leads a perfect life.
No, but I think
nobody.
I also sorry.
I tell my wife I'm near as perfect, but that's just me. sorry.
But
Joe.
I think there's also a difference between being negative and being pragmatic as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And real about
Yeah.
things. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So like we're going back to goals.
Yeah,
Be pragmatic about it.
yeah,
You know, not negative, pragmatic and real. So
yeah.
like we're saying
yeah,
about the
real.
marathon.
Yeah,
Think right. I'm going to do for example, a 4-month training block.
yeah,
That's being real. That's being organised.
yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
you know, that's not a negative either. you
No,
know. It's
no.
accepting where you're starting from and then
Yeah,
going.
absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Guess what, Joseph?
What?
Time for another song.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Time for another song.
Right. I wonder where he was going with that. Have we got a special guest coming in?
You're the special guest.
Right, okay. Right, here we go.
Would you want to introduce her?
Yes, sorry, this is the classic by Bobby Darin, Mac the Knife.
I love it.
Here
Love
we
it.
go.
So you're listening to Joseph O'Brien live on Smile Radio. Don't forget, if you missed this show or any other show, you can go to our website, smileradio.co/on-demand. You can listen for free on the website or pay a couple of quid. Every little helps. Anyway, this is over to you, Joseph.
Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has old Heath, dear, and he keeps it way out of sight. You know when that shark bites with his teeth, dear, scarlet billow, they start to spread. A fancy gloves, though, where's old Heath, dear? So there's never a trace of red on the sidewalk. Oh, sunny morning on, lies a body, I just oozing life. And someone sneaking round the corner. Could that be our boy, Mac the Knife? There's a tugboat down by a river where a cement bag is just drooping on down. That cement's there, it's there for the way deal. 5 will get you 10, old Mackey's back in town. You heard by Louis Miller, he disappeared there after drawing out all his hard-earned cash. And now Mackey he spends just like a sailor. Could it be our boy's done something rash? I said Jenny Double, oh Suki Tawdry, look out, Miss Narelle, yep, and old Louis Brown. Yes, the lion form on the right bay. Now that Mackey's back in town, I said Jenny Double, oh Suki Tawdry, look out, Miss Narelle, yep, and old Louis Brown. Yes, the lion forms on the right bay. Now that Mackey's back in town. Whoa! Look out, old Mackey is back.
Narelle Summers, be kind to your mind. On Smile Radio.
Welcome back to Smile Radio, to Narelle Summers, Be Kind to Your Mind with Joseph O'Brien. Lots of love on Facebook for you. Sandra Garrity says, we need him at the cafe bar at Smile Bar and Venue.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry, love. We've already
We're on it.
spoke. We're on it. We're on it.
I think that deserves a round of applause. That was
thank you.
I love that
Cheers.
song.
And
Love
By the
it.
way, did you see me swinging?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Swinging.
yeah.
Not literally.
And again, I'm just stating for people listening live, that is absolutely live. No effects, nothing.
No.
Not even a little bit of reverb.
No.
So,
It's all live.
beautiful.
Amazing,
What a tone.
amazing,
Thank you very much.
amazing. Right. Well, we're coming to the end. We've only got 15 minutes
I know,
left.
it's actually flown by this.
Yeah.
It really has. I know. I can talk as well. You know.
And so can I.
Yes, it's flown by.
bless you.
It's flown by. It really has.
Yeah, so what I give my guests an opportunity to say what's coming up next, where people can find you before we just end up wrapping up the
Smile Bar
programme.
and Venue.
Yeah.
where
Oh, that's where we're going to see you.
What's that?
Smile Bar and Venue.
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so you can find my PT page on Facebook at Joey OBPT. My music page is Joseph O'Brien Music, which is the generic, basically what I'm doing generally. And then I've got a separate page for my Frank Sinatra tribute, which is A Man and His Music. Now, off the back of the gig at Wakefield, I got invited to audition for the Rat Pack show. And it was through a tag on Facebook. This lady saw me and invited me to audition. I did the audition and didn't expect, and I got the role. And I'm going to be playing Frank Sinatra in a Rat Pack theatre tour. Now, the Yorkshire dates, because it's a UK tour, the Yorkshire dates are on the 18th of July at Hull City Hall and the 25th of July at Sheffield City Hall. And you can get tickets on their website. So if you just go on their Facebook, you can click on there, the Rat Pack. There's also the Rat Pack Live in Concert Facebook page. I have shared it on my music page. So if you are interested in coming, it's going to be a great show. It's a lot of wisecracks between myself, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis. The cast is great. Met the lads. They're great lads. Christopher Weeks and Job Angus. They're playing the respective roles. And the show is being organised by Show Planner, who do UK theatre tours. So I'm really excited for what's coming up. So.
Yeah, because the dates for not just the northern dates, but all the other dates, because you said down south and Scotland.
Yeah, I think there's one in Cardiff as well. So
right,
they're all
they're all on that website.
But I've shared them on my page. But all my general gigs, because I'm here, there, and everywhere, all over Yorkshire, are on Joseph O'Brien Music as well. So
go and check that out.
Yeah, if you feel free to come along to any gigs.
Yeah, that amazing. Just amazing voice.
Thank you for having me on, by the way.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm just glad that the voice has woke up.
The voice is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I get time distorted because of the pandemic, but I saw you on a Zoom wellbeing event. I'm gonna say 2 years ago. Was it?
That was with Tyler.
It was, yes. Yeah.
Well, I know.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it'll be 2 years this summer actually.
Yes.
I knew of Tyler through the gym. I got to know him a bit. He used to come in with his wife, and we got chatting, and we just connected because his dad used to play for Castleford.
Right.
Tigers.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of Castleford.
Yeah.
So we kind of got chatting about rugby and whatnot.
Okay.
And then he mentioned this wellbeing event. He's obviously seen what I was doing with clients and said, you've got a good energy and all that.
Yeah,
Would you like
absolutely.
to come on? And if I'm being honest, I'd never done anything like that.
Yeah.
So it kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone a bit. And I kind of like that, you know.
But the thing was, when I watched you speak on that Zoom, I would never have said that was your first time. Never in a million years.
Oh, thank you.
You came across as very confident, very clear. And then I think that's when we connected.
Yeah, it was,
on Facebook.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we said, we could talk for hours about goals and other things.
Yeah, and I think also regarding that, I just tried to be myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And try and be as genuine as I can be. And not be fake, really.
And that comes across.
Yeah, because we're going back to social media. There's a lot of fake stuff on there.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot, you know. It's you've got to be genuine, I think.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, people will connect with you. Yeah. You know, people connect with you for your PT, or people connect with me for my clients because they like you as a person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I've been told by quite a few clients I'm very different to the people that they've seen in the past, and that's good. You know, I want to pierce people's subconscious mind. Yeah. I want to get in there as quickly as possible because I want them to move on and have the life that they're supposed to have.
Yeah.
And deserve.
And that's rewarding for them and for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think, you know, I don't know whether, are you a big visualise person? Do you visualise your goals? Or do you write them down? What's your...
Visualise, really.
Yes.
I mean, I do it gig by gig, or PT session by PT session.
Oh, right, okay.
And you know, that thing of, and it's an old football saying, you're only as good as your last performance.
Yes.
I always go by that.
Right.
So I don't judge myself on what I've done 3 months ago. I'll judge it on, this is just how I work,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I've done previously.
Mhm.
So I do it like that. So gig by gig, I just try and be the best I can at each PT session, at each,
Yeah,
and just keep that momentum and just keep that going.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I don't look back really. I look back on pride on stuff I've done, but I don't dwell on it either. I always look forward.
Well, the past is the past, and as they say, the past is over.
Both positive and negative.
Yeah, you can't change that.
But you can change what's going forward.
Yeah, of course you can. You can visualize going forward. You can create your future. I mean, I do a thing called goal mapping, which is using words and pictures to engage the whole of the brain to achieve your goals. Because the left hand side of the brain is where your words are, and the right hand side is where your pictures are. So it's engaging the whole of the brain. Sitting down and doing my goal map, and then sitting down and visualizing it. Visualizing me achieving my goal, and also not just about achieving my goal, but how does that make me feel? You know, it's about feelings. How are you going to feel when you run the London Marathon? When you cross that line, how are you going to feel?
At that moment, going back to that, I ran the London Marathon for charity.
Yes.
Cardiac at Risk in the Young.
Yeah.
And there's a family in Ackworth where I live who lost their son to an undiagnosed heart condition.
Blimey.
And off the back of that, they set up a charity,
Yeah.
Rory's Foundation, to raise money to screen young people. They've saved lives through doing it.
Brilliant.
To screen.
Absolutely.
And the guy who set it up, his dad Chris, passed away with COVID.
Oh.
Between me, the time I was meant to run it, and when I did run it. So that was an extra motivation for me.
Yes.
And when I crossed the finish line, I just had Chris on my mind, and I remember like breaking down with emotions. And I turned round, and just this guy turned round, and we just bear hugged each other. Didn't know him, and he was from Brisbane, Australia. All the way from Brisbane, because that release of emotion.
Yeah.
For whatever reason you're doing that.
Yeah.
That release of when you get over that finish line.
Yeah.
Near Buckingham Palace, it's an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It's an unreal feeling. The same when I did the theatre show at Wakefield, which is probably the biggest gig of my life.
Yeah.
We'd spent months planning it, and to actually do it and pull it off. I just remember sitting at home that night when I got back, and the adrenaline had wore off, and just like being quite proud, but like, wow, you know, it's nice to reflect on when you do it, that goal, reflect on it as well.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
I said it's in the past, I didn't mean don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
I meant reflect on it, you know.
Yeah.
And when you do it, when you do achieve things, you should be proud of it, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and feel
But
feel
build
it
on
in
it,
your heart.
build on it if
Yes,
you can.
absolutely. Feel it in your heart, and then you can double that feeling, triple that feeling,
Yeah.
and and that's the drive to do something
And
else.
use it as a motivation,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Like our motivation off the back of Wakefield, the
Yeah.
gig at Wakefield, was what can we get next?
Yeah.
So we've got little bits lined up next year in terms
Yeah.
of theatre work. So that was the driving point
Yeah.
to go, right, let's do it again,
Yeah.
you know. So I think
Absolutely.
that's important as well.
So how long have we got left?
We've just got 7 minutes.
Oh, 'cause
Right,
we want
can I-
to. Yes.
I'm going to get my guitar now. Just bear with me 1 minute, guys.
This is so exciting. So, yeah, go and check Joseph's Facebook page out, his website. If anybody wants to connect with me, I do one-to-one sessions over Zoom. My email address is hello@narellesummers.co.uk. And, yeah, and go and have a look at all the different radio programmes that I've done over the years. We've had lots of different guests, different speakers. But Joseph is now going to play live with his guitar.
So tell us what you're going to play then, Joseph.
This is a stripped down version of Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight, which is a very romantic song.
Classic.
And if I ever get married, right, and you never know, strange things have happened.
He's going to be singing Spanky Picture by Prodigy.
I might have this at my wedding. Mind you, I'm saying that whoever I marry, she'll probably decide that anyway.
Yeah.
So, is that how it works, marriage?
Yes,
You just
yes,
nod and
yeah,
agree,
yeah.
right? Okay.
God bless you.
I need pointers, you see.
Yeah.
So.
Over to you, Joseph.
It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. We go to a party and everyone turns to see this beautiful lady. She's walking around with me, and then she asks me, do you feel alright? And I say yes, I feel wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love right in your eyes, and the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. It's time to go home now, and I've got an aching head. I gave her the car keys, she helps me to bed, and as I ask her to turn out the light, I said, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. I said, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. I said, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Absolutely
Cheers.
beautiful. Classic song as well.
Cheers.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I know you sat in front of me, but you have a beautiful tone.
Thank
You've got
you.
a lovely,
Thank you very
lovely
much.
voice. So
Cheers.
yeah, definitely getting you at Smile Bar and Venue.
When?
Yeah, well, we're sorting it out afterwards. Don't you worry.
Thank you for having me, guys. Can I just say where I do PT?
Yeah,
Yes,
of course you
of
can.
course,
yeah,
yes.
Ultimate Fitness in Ackworth, which is above the Electric Theatre bar. So if you need a good local gym, that's the one. Ultimate Fitness.
Or a PT.
Or a PT, yeah.
Yes.
There's one kicking about. But thank you for having me on. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming.
No,
Pleasure.
and like I said earlier on, if you've missed this show or any other show, you can go to our website, smileradio.co/on demand. Listen for free online or download it for a couple of quid. Like I said, every little bit helps. It's just been amazing. And again,
Yeah.
Narelle, another class guest today. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming and singing live.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, as you know, we are the beacon for unsigned and independent music, and along with our venue in Huddersfield, we've got all sorts. So if you go to smilebarandvenue.co.uk, click on events, we've got all sorts, and we'll have the delightful Joseph O'Brien come in at some point as well.
Yes.
Wow.
look
And
forward
his
to it.
band, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. You know,
Yeah.
full 7-piece band there. So
Wow.
it would be a full night of Sinatra hits.
Yeah,
So I'm sure we'd be more than happy to come and do it.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
And I just want to say, and thank you, Richard,
Oh, stop it. You're gonna-
because I know that you work very late on a Friday in the bar, and I like to do my programme on a Saturday morning.
It's
and
okay.
you get in the early hours of the morning, and then you have to get up a few hours later to come and set the studio up. So thank you so much. I
It's
really,
my
really,
pleasure, Narelle.
I really appreciate it, because I I love doing my Smile Radio.
No, we love having you, and as I said this before, you are really, really positive, and if you know, like you get on, and it's like some days, we're on about going for a run, and and you get on, right, but when you get in, and I absolutely love doing what we're doing. I love the radio. I love
It's
the
a great setup. It really is.
Yeah, apart from all the stuff dumped in the corner from my daughter from coming back from uni, but anyway. Anyway, all I was left to say is thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for your messages, guys. And again, you can watch it and listen again on Facebook. So take care of yourselves, look after yourself, and we'll see you again soon.
Narelle Summers, be kind to your